Good morning, guys, and welcome back, man, to another stream. We're here, and we're going to be talking all things Gavi today, as City are being linked with a potential move. We all know that Barcelona are basically in the mud, and that's leaving them very, very vulnerable when it comes to player contracts. We're going to get into the latest news on this, what it means for City. Obviously, City are looking for a midfielder. Gavi, a very versatile player, come through the Barcelona academy. Is this something that could actually happen? And we'll talk about his possible transfer fee / rumoured price. But before we get into it, guys, make sure you drop a like on the stream. We've got over 150 people joined us for this early morning stream. Let's get those likes up, man. Let's get them past 80 likes. 15 people, hit that thumbs up button, man. If you want to help support the channel grow, become a YouTube channel member. The link is in the description. Pinned comment as well. We watched the Chelsea versus Liverpool game last night. It wasn't the best game in the world, but we had a laugh, man. So big up all the Xtra Club gang who were there last night. Mr. Murray's fucking fixed his mic.
I know. Listen, we had some technical issues over here, but we're all good to go now. We're lucky we have techie boy Jordan on the case to sort me out, so it's all good.
Before we speak about exactly what's going on with Gavi, I want to sort of get our opinions on Gavi as a player. I remember the first time I seen Gavi play, and he actually played on the wing the first time I played. He played on a sort of a right wing position. And I thought it was a mini Messi at the time. I thought, fucking hell, this guy moves like Messi. He's the same sort of height as Messi. He looks very much like Messi. Obviously not as good as Messi, but the way he moves is very, very good. Now, he's a very versatile player. I've seen him play on the wings a lot, left and right. I've seen him play in the midfield a lot. I really, really, really like Gavi, bro. I don't know what your thoughts are, but I would absolutely love him at City.
I think he's sick. But he does have a few improvements to make in his game if he wants to be a top level footballer. I think he has all the technical ability, all the understanding of a La Masia player. You know when you see a footballer, even if they're not playing for Barcelona now, but they've gone through the Barca academy, you could tell they've gone through the Barca academy. You could tell by the way they move, the way they read the game, the way they snap their head, and all those kind of things you look for. And the likes of Pep himself, when he was a player, he was taught growing up. Xavi and Iniesta, they were taught growing up. There's fundamentals of the game that you're taught in La Masia that you seem to only get taught in La Masia, and it all stems from Johan Cruyff. And obviously, Pep tries to implement a lot of that into our teams as well. But yeah, man, he's sick. He really is a sick player. But like I said, he's got some things to improve on, and that's probably just his end product. His end product, I think, for a top player, he'd look to be getting a few more goals, a few more assists. But in terms of what a midfielder should be doing, and that's pulling the strings. He does that. Him and Pedri are a very dynamic duo, and they're very effective. Like, I suppose you could even argue as well, like one of our greatest midfielders of all time, and David Silva. He wasn't the most prolific in the final third, but everything behind that, he pulled the strings. He did absolutely everything. I think there are some good conversations to have around acquiring Gavi, because it's not just straightforward. We know from history when you do get players from Barcelona who went through La Masia, they have a big affiliation to it, and they absolutely love it. So if you were to get him, how long would you want to stay in Manchester City? But we'll get into all that. I think he's great. I think as a technical footballer, he's absolutely fantastic. And under Pep Guardiola, he could be even better.
Yeah, I agree. He's got so much development into his game. I mean, people forget, but he's only 18 years old, bro.
Well, this is what I'm saying, man. It's like with Jude Bellingham. I put Gavi in that same conversation. They have a similar potential to hit, a similar ceiling to hit. Like, they could both go on to be world class players, but they both still have so much developing to do. I'm not ready to put them into that conversation just yet, or on that pedestal of a world class player right now, because they're smashing at the age of 18, 19, 20. Get them in and let them grow and develop, because they both still do have so much to learn. But like I said, what's exciting about this is if we were able to get Gavi, he has a similar ceiling to Bellingham, and if you could hold on to him for ages, you could have a potentially serious operator in your team.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if we actually look why this stream maybe is happening, and why City are being linked with Gavi. If you've been living under a rock for the last 12 months, 2 years, Barcelona are in serious financial shit. And in my personal opinion, I think they made it worse last year with the decisions that they made. Bringing forward future revenues, I think, is a terrible idea. And yeah, they made some signings which I personally think were very strange. And now they're in this situation where apparently they have to lower their wage bill by a couple of 100 million or some shit like that. It's absolutely incredible. Or they need to bring money into the club, basically. And they went to sign Gavi to a new contract because he only has 1 year left on his deal. They went to sign him to a new contract. And according to The Athletic, the new contract that Gavi signed, which was a contract extension until 2026, included a clause in the contract to say, once both parties sign this new contract, i.e. Gavi and Barcelona, if La Liga do not accept that new contract because of the financial state of the football club, Gavi will be allowed to leave the football club on a free transfer. So effectively, the problem is Gavi right now is on like a schoolboy contract or like a shit contract. He's probably getting paid peanuts relative to everyone else at the football club, not to me and you. He's still probably on big cash, but he's probably on like a couple of grand a week, a bit like Rico Lewis, right? He's probably still on about 3-4 grand a week when he should be much higher. Basically, he said, I'll sign this new contract with you, but if this contract doesn't get sorted, doesn't get accepted, I will be allowed to leave the football club at the end of the season. Now, clearly, Barcelona were confident in the contract being accepted, bro. Otherwise, they wouldn't have signed the contract, right? Because they still had a year left. So that's where we're at. And obviously, there are still a few rumours saying that there might be a £50 million release clause instead of being at free. So there is a bit of contradictory information there. Is it a free transfer or would it be 50 mil? Either way, you're still getting a bargain, whether it's 50 or free transfer. But the facts are, if Barcelona cannot get that contract registered by the end of the season, which is looking unlikely given there's only 2 months left, Gavi will be able to leave Barcelona on either a free transfer or a massively reduced market value of 50 million quid. So you look at the deal and you go, fucking hell, man, that is a very, very attractive deal. Even if it's 50 million quid, it's still a very attractive price, bro. You know, so this is the state of Barcelona in, and if you can get Gavi for that sort of price or a free transfer, whoo, jeez.
Man, it would be an absolutely fantastic deal to get him. I don't fully understand the issues at Barcelona Football Club. It seems to be unraveling as the weeks go on, and there's new shit coming out all the time. And what doesn't make sense to me the most is they're also trying to get some players. They're trying to get Messi. They're saying that they're pushing hard to get Messi, and I don't know how that would work with their financial problems. Like, would he have to come in and basically work for free? And it's an absolute mess. And I feel for Gavi because he's at Barcelona at the wrong time. It's like he's grown up in the wrong era, the wrong generation. If he had grown up in Barcelona 10, 15 years ago or broken into the first team, he'd be unbelievable. He'd be staying exactly where he is. There'd be no question marks over this. But because of the mistakes that what was his name? Bartomeu made and Laporta has made since he's come in. People like Gavi and Pedri have had to suffer. And for Gavi, it seems like he's there to be sniped if you can make the deal happen and you can say the right things to him and persuade him. Because, like I said a few minutes ago, getting a player out of Barcelona who does love the place, and I imagine he does because he grew up there, it's tough. It's tough. You don't know what kind of sacrifices he'll be persuaded into making. He's had to revert back to wearing the number 30 shirt. I think was a number 8 he was given, like that was meant to be a squad number.
Yeah.
And then he's been told because he no longer has a senior contract, he has to wear the number 8 shirt. Listen, if there was any club in a position to go and get Gavi, whether it's for 50 million or whether it's for free, it's Manchester City right now. The only thing going against us is exactly what Bernardo Silva hates, and that's the climate. But we have Pep Guardiola. Gavi would have grown up adoring Pep Guardiola. He would have been an icon, a hero of his, one of the most successful managers of all time at Barcelona, an extremely successful player, European Cups, leagues, a Barcelona icon. If you could get Pep to speak directly to Gavi, say, listen, I get you probably eventually want to go back to Barcelona. I fully get that because I have the same understanding as you. We're both Barca boys. Why don't you come to City? 3 to 5 years, something like that. I'll develop you nicely. You'll compete for Premier League, compete for Champions League, play beside Foden, Haaland, all these kind of players. It's the perfect setup for you to continue your development, because if you stay at Barcelona right now, you're only going to slow it down and potentially at worst hinder it and not reach your full ceiling, because you're such a good player. You don't deserve to be in a club that's messy right now. You need to be somewhere that's stable. You can grow nicely, develop nicely, compete at a good level. Game management, we won't overuse you, we won't underuse you. Pep has all utensils in place to give this kid a massive opportunity at football, whether that's 10 years at City or whether it's 5. That's something you just have to take on board and understand when you acquire a player like Gavi. You may not have him like a David Silva for 10, 12 years. You may not have him like a Phil Foden where you think he's going to finish his career there. But if you get him for 50 million or for free and get 3 to 5 years out of him, I say full send it, man.
And of course, you know, with the greatest of respect in the world, Barcelona might not exist in 5 years' time. You know what I mean? And if they do, they still might not be able to fucking afford him. They might not be able to afford the transfer fee or the wages. So, yeah, even though there is a potential that he might want to go back, you know, and he might not. He might come to Manchester. He might love it. You know, okay, we've had some players who want to go, leave, but for the last decade, we've done extremely well at keeping players at this club for the long term. So, in fact, weirdly well. You know, it's not normal the amount of players that we've had at the football club who've not wanted to leave. You know, normally you do get more players who want to leave. We've only had really sort of Sane, Fran Torres, Garcia, you know, and 2 of them players weren't even that good. So, yeah, very, very strange. Very, very strange.
But you know what, bro? If you look at it, they're not. They wouldn't have been like our biggest assets. The only players that ever seem to be allowed go with some shape or form of ease. It's not the big assets. If you look at the likes of Aguero, David Silva, company, even De Bruyne, how many of these players, more specifically on this conversation, Aguero and David Silva, in their prime, were offered to go to places like Real Madrid, Barcelona, year in, year out, they're linked to move away, and we're saying, oh no, we can't hold on to these players while Real Madrid and Barcelona are, you know, when they're in their prime, are lurking around our players. But whatever infrastructure we have in place, whatever we're doing to keep these players happy, it's clearly working. What Cheeky and Ferran and Khaldoon have done is they've clearly identified who their biggest assets are in the first team squad and said, give them whatever they want, keep them happy, whether it's money, whether it's support with their families, I don't know what, a proper training center, good players around them, and makes them want to stay. Which just links to the Haaland conversation of whether he's going to leave or not. That's why I think as City fans who understand the way the club is run, we have an air of confidence that he will stay much longer than people suggest. Because our board and our club have an unbelievable ability to retain our best assets and keep them happy and make them feel like, why should I leave? Why would I want to leave when everything's in place here? So with Gavi, you could, it's not as straightforward as he'll want to leave in 3 to 5 years. You never know. He could fall in love with the place. The fans could adore him. There could be a Gavi song that we're singing for 15, 20 minutes in a row every game. But it's one of those things to bear in mind, man. Manchester City's not a club that when you're valued highly, you walk away from easily.
Yeah, completely agree. Completely agree. I got a little bit more information on this Gavi shit, so I'm going to go through that in just a second. But before we do, guys, make sure you drop a like on the stream, man. Let's get those likes past 150. We've got over 300 people watching this morning. Hopefully you're all having a good morning, innit? Or good night. You know, I got a lot of the Australians in at this time. So big up everyone at that side of the world. Hopefully you're all having a good evening, man. Make sure you drop the likes on the stream. We've got a couple super chats coming. Farhad with a 729 says, no need for Garcia 2.0. So not a massive fan of Gavi then from Farhad. I do like Gavi though, to be fair, Farhad. I do rate him, but that's your opinion, innit? Big up Ferg FIFA as well. There you go, Australian. You know, so see what you say. What colour underwear are you wearing, Hugh? Black.
Mad of you to assume I'm wearing underwear.
Oh, you what, mate?
Who knows I'm wearing anything under this camera? Listen, man. Listen, with these cameras, man, there's a lot going on under here.
Okay, now, mate, it's only 20 past 11. Come on.
No, I'm wearing a Simpsons themed underwear.
It's funny, man. Right, okay. Yeah, let me go through some of this information then on this Gavi thing, because I found some shit. So this is what Tabas said last month about this situation. So basically said, Tabas insisted there are clear financial rules which Barcelona must abide by before they can increase their wages. And this is what he says. He says, Gavi has a salary as of November cannot be registered because Barcelona is over their cap by 200 million euros. We cannot skip the control rules. Barcelona has a solution, and it is to come up with a treasury plan to sign. There are no more levers, or if there are, they cannot use them. If Barcelona has problems with fair play, we are co-responsible. I never said anything to annoy Barcelona. With Bartomeu, however you say his name, there were salary limits. Barcelona was at the maximum, but they went too far. Real Madrid does not spend anything. They had a piggy bank every year because they made 25 million euros in profit. Barcelona did not, and now they have been penalised. Now, he says there, I don't know whether this is like a mistranslation or it's legit, but he says they cannot register because Barcelona are over their cap by 200 million euros. I don't think that's a mistranslation. I think that's legit. I've seen in the press that Barcelona need to lower their wage bill by 200 million euros. Bro, how the fuck did they do that, innit?
They don't do it. You don't do that kind of thing in one summer. You can't, unless you want to completely destroy the first team and eliminate any chance of consistency and trophies, which Barcelona Football Club has to strive for every single season. You can't do that. How do you do that? Who do you get rid of? Do you just get rid of all the first team players and bring in La Masia youth contract players? I don't know how you go about doing that. It's absolutely wild. And I want to say something. I think it's really sad. I know we're Manchester City fans, but I grew up watching Barcelona Football Club.
100%.
I admired them. I loved their ethos. I loved their model, producing youth players through La Masia. They lived at La Masia growing up. They eat, slept, and breathed a certain brand of football, and it was beautiful to watch. The club was ran fantastically, and then it got handed over to a bunch of crooks who have ruined what was a pillar and an institution of European football, world football. And it's absolutely crazy that we're sitting here having this conversation. The Barcelona Football Club have to reduce their wage bill to keep the club alive, to keep it going. It's really sad, but you know what? If Manchester City can benefit from it in some shape or form, it is what it is. I'll never ever wish them to go out of business. I will never wish any football club to go out of business.
Agreed.
I do.
But there is actually a realistic chance that they might go out of business, man. The way that the fucking
I do hope they can fix it. I do hope they can fix it eventually and get the club back to where it should be and go back to their old model and their old ethos. But short term, you know, if there's a player or two there for us that we can snipe and get in at a good fee, I would I'd be all over that. But I'm seeing some conversation in the chat here, and I wanna kind of link up to what we're talking about, and that is of course Jude Bellingham, right? If we do go and get Gavi, who plays in a similar, if not exact same position to Jude Bellingham, would you still push for him?
Yeah.
Well, you go for both.
I'd go for both.
Do you think there's enough space in the squad to give them kind of players the time they want?
Yeah, I do because Gavi can also play on the wings. And Kevin De Bruyne's not getting any younger. So you'd have to probably get rid of both Gundogan and Bernardo Silva. I think if you kept one or both of them, which I think is unlikely anyway, I think that would probably be too much. But I think if you got rid of Gundogan and Bernardo Silva and you brought in Gavi and Jude Bellingham, you still got Perone there. Yeah, I think that's fine. I don't think that's too many.
It's kind of like a a double win if you like getting in Gavi, because we've been saying for a while that we wouldn't mind or we'd like another winger option just to have, so, you know, someone who can switch it up on the wing. You can throw him out there, and we know Gavi can play on the left or the right, and then of course he's fantastic in centre mid as well. Like a midfield of Rodri, De Bruyne, and Gavi, or Rodri, Gavi, and Bellingham, like that's a serious refreshment. That's a serious overhaul there, and you're adding really youth and energy there, but. I don't know. I'm kind of torn.
Yeah. Check this out, bro. So they need to get rid of £200 million a year, right? So this is gross per year. Yeah. So if you have a look at this, I mean, look at this. How is Frankie de Jong, Sergio Busquets, €700,000 a week?
Yeah. Did Busquets not take a massive pay decrease?
Maybe he did.
I know Piqué did. I know Piqué definitely did at one stage, but I'm pretty sure they were. I'm pretty sure they were.
Has he signed it though, bro? Or is it just like I'll take a decrease, but you're still owe me the money?
I'm not sure what it is, but I know that Barcelona were begging a lot of their highest earners to like half their wages, if not, you know, a third their wages, basically. And a lot of the first team players were like, nah. I'm pretty sure they asked Frankie de Jong, and he was like, no, like I'm not doing that. You know, I want my cash, which is totally understandable.
Yeah, it's mad. I mean, if I was Barcelona, because what you got to remember is, guys, it's not right now for Barcelona. It's not about thinking about, oh, we got to go win Champions League in the Ligas, even though they're doing pretty well in La Liga. You got to think about saving the club and getting this club in a better position. So for me, I'd probably sell Frankie de Jong. I'd say to Sergio Busquets, see you later. Jordi Alba, see you later. Gerard Piqué's gone anyway, so that's 14 million off the books. I mean, how is Ansu Fati on 270 grand a week? The guy's never fit. You know what I'm saying? Ousmane Dembele. No, get this guy's 230. Ferran Torres, 200. Oh,
what were they thinking, man? What were they thinking giving out these kind of wages? Like Ferran Torres, 200. That's wild. Well, he was on what, 80 at City? I'm pretty sure
he's
it was like 80.
He's on more than Pedri, man.
Nah, that club is run like into the ground, man. It's run so poorly. And the fact that Joan Laporta, who is the president of the club now, I'm 99% sure, or 99% sure he has been president or part of the board before at a time where they knew what they were doing. Like, he's come back for his second stint. The fact that he's running this club so poorly now, I'm just like, wow, man. I can't believe what I'm seeing.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? It's fucking crazy. And I echo what you said, man. You know, growing up, me personally, I absolutely love watching Barcelona. I remember watching Barcelona against United in the Champions League finals and United getting ruined. they played. And I maintain to this day that Barcelona team managed by Pep Guardiola was the best football team I've ever witnessed in my life, ever. And I don't think I will ever see a team as good as that, especially with Xavi, Iniesta and Messi, David Villa, defence, Puyol. It was unbelievable. I don't think I'll ever see a better team than that. So it is a shame. It's a shame. And this is why you've got to make sure that when you have these people running the football clubs, guys, that you get smart people involved in it. Otherwise, you just end up in the mud. Fahad says, tongue in cheek here, Barcelona could end up as a CFG signing with a super chat 729. I mean, this is the thing. They need serious help. Obviously, £200 million or euros is apparently what they need to cut from the wage bill. And will City look at Gavi? Will Barcelona be able to get Gavi across the line? In fact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do a poll in the chat before we wrap up, because I want to know from you guys in the poll: do you want City to make a move for Gavi? 50 mil. Basically, what I've done, because obviously I don't know if it's free, sign him for free or 50 mil. I don't know if it's free. I don't know, because obviously there's different shit, different rumors going around. So I put a poll in the chat there. So let us know in the poll what you want before we wrap up here. But yeah, City being linked with Gavi, and apparently the latest rumors coming out is that Manchester City are ready to act on Gavi should his situation not be resolved by the end of the season. Gavi wants to stay at Barcelona, but if the La Liga club fail to free up enough funds to officially register him by the end of the season, Gavi could be forced to move. Should the player become available, Man City stand ready to act. That is the latest news on Gavi. And looking at the early votes in the poll, 90% of people in this stream say get Gavi, whether it's for free or whether it's for the 50 million reported release clause, get him. And I would get him as well. So you asked me the question before, bro, about the whole Jude Bellingham Gavi thing. So where are you at with this? Would you not get Gavi and Bellingham? Are you saying that's too much?
It massively hinges on whether either of Gundo or Bernardo stay. I think if either of them stay and we get Gavi, I'm not sure I'd be pushing for Bellingham as well. And if we were to get Bellingham, I'm not sure I'd be pushing for Gavi if one of them were to stay. But if we were to lose Bernardo and Gundo, I'd be well up for it. I'd be well up for Gavi and Bellingham. And the thing with Gavi is you can be really, really confident that he won't take too much bedding in time. He won't take too much of an adapting period, because when you talk about Pep footballers and Pep style footballers, he's that. Like, he's literally cut from the same cloth, if you like. He'll have all the same fundamentals and ideas of how football should be played as Pep Guardiola, because that's what's been drilled into him from the time he was 5-6 years old, whatever it was, when he joined La Masia. So you could see Gavi coming in and very quickly understanding the way we want to play football and slotting in very naturally. So in a weird way, Gavi would probably be a more obvious and natural fit for Manchester City and clearer signing than Jude Bellingham.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't disagree with that, and that the same with McAllister. I'm starting to get on the McAllister hype train, bro. I am. Yeah, big time, bro.
You need to pitch it to me here, because I'm nowhere near you on this. I don't know.
You know what? No, I'm gonna save it. Tonight's stream, I'm gonna do a pitch. I'm gonna do a sale. I'm gonna do Dragon's Den. Yeah, I'm gonna do Dragon's Den tonight. I'm gonna pitch McAllister to you. I'm gonna pitch it to everyone. So people, make sure you join us for tonight, man, because I'm gonna be pitching. I'm gonna come into the Dragon's Den. I'm gonna pitch McAllister. Seriously, I think it's decent. But yeah, I'll get into that tonight. Let's have a look at the poll then before we wrap up. 86% of people, the final score, 86% of people want Gavi, whether it be on a free transfer or 50 mil. And 13% of people say no, they don't want it. Why do you think that is? Why do you think 13% of people say no to Gavi? Because I don't get that. I think he's mint. Why would people be saying no? What am I not seeing here, bro?
They're being edgy. I've seen some shouts in the chat say, "Don't get Gavi, re-sign Lavia," or "Don't get Gavi, re-sign Lavia." What sense does that make? Like, no. Gavi's streets ahead of Lavia, and they're not even in the same position.
Yeah, that's that madness. Because he's going to leave in 2 seasons. I mean, you never know that. People always say that, though, don't they? People said that about Sheikh Mansour, didn't happen. People said it about Aguero, didn't happen. Yaya, didn't happen. David Silva, didn't happen. They say it about Pep, didn't happen. I don't know why
Listen,
people
they're
just
saying about Haaland, and he's doing the Poznan and the stand there on Saturday morning. He doesn't look like he's in a rush to leave.
Yeah, no, I agree. Buzzing. Right, guys, well, I hope you enjoyed that one. Bit of a random one this morning, but yeah, keep your eye out on what's going on at Barcelona. Apparently, they need to reduce their wage bill by 200 million euros, which is absolutely incredible. We will be back later on in the afternoon with another stream, so make sure you stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell, and then whenever we go live, boom, YouTube will notify you in it, so you don't miss any of our streams. Yeah, other than that, enjoy the rest of your day. Have a good one. We'll catch you later. See you later.
In a bit.